gentlemen, the following presentation is brought to you by Mr. Main Event Brian Waters and the real Dwayne Alley. The Wrestling Wrealm, the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Off the top rope, I dwell in the wrestling realm. Like Jake stay in the snake pit and Kane be in hell. Like Jacob stay in the graveyard, I'm punk in the shy. Call me Snooker cause I'm super and fly. You can hate all you want, but I'm flossing. The Miz said I'm awesome, and I'm upholding the law just like the big boss man. With Mr. Main Event Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen, toss you over the border like Hernandez, Mandez, pressing the stands. It's the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Hitman like Hawk, but I'm not from Calgary. I'm all about the bill, so let that gold dust shower me, empower me like Farouk and the nation. If you don't know your history, then you should change the station. But if you do, you can cruise to YouTube / the Wrestling Wrealm. Your lessons are stale. Say the same old lines, man, you destined to fail. Like the Shockmaster or the Wrestler Nails. I'm a heartbreak kid, and my bid to be champion is unmatched. Anybody step, I'm face planting them. With Mr. Main Event and the real Dwayne, you the sisters of love, we the powers of pain. You see we coming with a spear while you're monkey flipping. It's Brian Waters, Dwayne Allen, and your boy Trenton.
And this is where it's going to get very controversial, folks, so I'm going to go ahead and warn you.
Goldust.
No.
I thought it was Gold.
Yeah, I thought he should have been #1, but you know.
Goldust? Shut up.
He turned the title, he was gold, he turned the title gold. I mean,
I'm leaving the show.
Get back here. Chris Jericho #2, Savage #1.
Oh, yes, we've had this discussion before.
I say, and for those who don't know, check out Wrestle Talk with Baron B Dub in the archive section on YouTube.com/Baron B Dub. This is where me and Bear agreed. Which who's going to be making an appearance soon, sooner than people think.
Nice.
Yeah, he's going to be making an appearance.
Nice.
Come season 2.
Haven't heard from Bear in a while.
Right.
What he has to say about some things.
But I said, we both agree Chris Jericho is our top Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
And I look and I say, Savage, top Intercontinental Champion. I definitely understand what he did for the business. Definitely understand what he did for the title itself. He made the title important. Not to say, not disrespectful to guys like Pat Patterson and Pedro Morales, who were Intercontinental Champions. But Savage, his matches that he put on, you know, were better than Hogan's, obviously. Or even, you know, just the way he walked with that title.
Right.
And I say that, but I still say Jericho's the top Intercontinental Champion of all time. Not just because, to me, he had better Intercontinental title runs than he did world title runs, but he brought importance to that title. And part of it, too, he said as a child, it was his goal to become an Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
You know, and what is it, 9-time IC champion?
Yeah. You might as well throw on one more time to be one. I mean, who wouldn't mind a Chris Jericho feud? Imagine what that'd do.
Well, how much longer are we going to see Chris Jericho around? You know,
I mean, according to him, he's not going anywhere. I think they have a situation set up for him where he can take time off to do his music thing, so it doesn't get in the way, and plenty of time off. So I don't know. We'll see. But
oh man, you know, I just think, you know, I really like him as the Intercontinental Champion. That's why I say I always thought he was the best to ever do it, the best to ever hold the title.
I think because Macho Man is Macho Man. You know what I mean?
And I can respect that.
You know, I think that has a lot to do with it because, like I said, your name does carry weight. It has something to do because none of these guys on this list were not just workhorses that didn't do anything, but they just, you know, these guys, their name actually carried some type of weight. You know, it was important, and I think that's very, I mean, you can't, you know, at first I was like, well, you know, Savage, but then when you think about it, when you break it down that way, you look at it from that perspective, you really can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, when we look back on this list 5-10 years from now, I think Chris Jericho will most likely be #1.
Okay, now let me ask you this. At one point in time, Macho Man was the guy in the WWE.
Right.
Chris Jericho, when you think about it, CM Punk said it best. you were never the company. As much as I'm a big fan of his, another one of my top 5 guys. It was always Cena.
Mm-hmm.
It was always The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
Austin, Batista. But Jericho was never the guy.
Right.
Do you think that also kind of hinders him?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Because I felt like Jericho had that same mentality, same attitude as a lot of the guys like Piper and Hennig, where you didn't need that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes being the top guy in the company doesn't mean being the face of the WWE.
Right.
You know what I mean? You look at a guy like CM Punk, who's clearly the top guy in the company right now. I mean, he's had that title for a long time, and they love him. They love his attitude. At one point, this was a guy that was being known as, he had a bad attitude.
Right.
And this is a guy, he wasn't just at the third. But then you look at him now, and they love him. You know what I mean? They love the leader that he is in the locker room. And all his thing was, all he wanted was the respect that I'm one of the top guys. Treat me that way.
Right.
You know, he hijacked the WWE for about a month. He got his wishes, and now here he is. I think Jericho has that same mentality, where I feel like he feels like he don't need that. Like, okay, and I use this example to prove the way he thinks. If you watch Jericho's DVD, was it Breaking the Code, his latest one? He talks about leaving, retiring, leaving for the time, and he talked about how he got fired and taken out, screaming. And he said fans are outraged, like, oh, that's how they gonna play. Like, the fans thought they were slick coming to his aid. Oh, WWE is trash. They shouldn't have treated it. You deserve way more respect than that. And how dare they? And Chris Jericho looked at him like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm a heel. That's what I'm supposed to do. Like, I wanted to go out that way. I think sometimes we overthink things. You know what I mean? And I think as fans, we overthink the idea of, okay, hey, he wasn't the face of the company, so he's not one of the greats. Where people in the wrestling businesses, man, that has nothing to do with it. Just like wins and losses. People like to win, but you'd be surprised how very little that is of any importance to most wrestlers. Yeah. It's important when it comes to trying to get over, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you're working tonight. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? You're doing something. You know, if you say you're going to go out there and lose, your thing is, I'm going to go out there and lose the best way I know how to. Right. And make it look really, really good. And I think Jericho, because he's always had that mentality, has left him almost timeless. Like, he's back. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jericho left, and he's just as popular as he was before. Now, granted, he's not trying to take the spotlight. He's not. I don't think he wants to be in that complete main event picture where it's surrounded around him like his original character when he first left. He was one of the players, you know. Yeah. But it's like, I think Jericho has nothing to prove. He wants to get in where he fits in, work things out, and just enjoy himself. It's what he loves to do. Okay. So.
Yeah, you know, just sitting back, like I said, looking back at it, and I was just thinking, like, you know, I mean, I've always been a Jericho-holic, you know. Shouts out to my boy D-Guy, the biggest Jericho-holic I know, you know.
Yeah, you ain't lying. That is his guy, man.
Right. Don't speak bad about Jericho. Signed his Intercontinental title. He got this one. Yeah. And Jericho signed that for him, you know. So, but I was just like, you know, to me, I've always said, you know, he's the top Intercontinental. And don't get me wrong. Obviously, Macho Man is another top 5, you know. But I named gave you 3 of my top 5s just now. I'm gonna tell you, it was the other Bret and Hogan. And wait, Bret, Hogan, Jericho, Savage, Perfect. Nah. Yeah, because Bret and Hogan's 1. So then it's The Rock.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, The Rock, Jericho.
Notice the shirt that he has on today.
You know.
The fake one. The great one, my bad.
Ooh. He came, I thought we was over that.
What's The Rock? Is he filming a new movie? Oh, okay. Putting on makeup and stuff. No, that's cool. No, that's what he does. Yeah.
You finished?
Yeah, yeah, you know.
We knew what was going to happen. Yeah. He'll be back. He's going to be WWE champion. He said it.
Sure. Yeah. Because Rock can do whatever he wants.
Hey, when you said it though, when you put $2, $3, $4 million in his pocket.
Hey, you can do whatever you want. Hey Vince, what's up? Hey, that's why Hogan used to do the same thing for Hogan, but see Hogan get carried away. He'll never want to leave. Okay, Terry, we gotta wrap this up, bro.
Terry, I got one more run.
Vince, I think I should get the belt one more time. Okay, Terry, this is the last time. Okay, Terry, you had about 60 days. We gotta start changing the story. I still think I should. Then all of a sudden Hogan gets mad and quits. And then they don't talk for another 10 years, and they come back again. Hogan comes back, Hulkamania.
They talking right now.
Oh yeah, they're best friends. They got y'all fooled.
Yeah.
TNA sabotage. They sabotage. Vince and Hogan sabotage TNA. And they cut Eric Bischoff a paycheck. They was cutting Paul Heyman a paycheck when he was running ECW. He was on the payroll since '96. Did you know that? Paul Heyman he's been on the payroll since that invasion angle the first time ECW. He's been on WWE's payroll
on a consistent basis.
Yes. See, y'all ain't know that. See.
But he couldn't pay his guys. He wasn't paying the bills to get it done.
Vince gave him a $500,000 loan, man. He just made bad decisions. He made bad decisions. He went on TV and couldn't get advertisers. That's hey. That's where your money is in television.
Yeah.
The key to TV is to bring eyeballs to advertisers. They couldn't get advertising. That's just a little side note. I thought your boy Hogan, your top 5 guys.
Hogan should be on this list.
Was he ever an IC champion? How good can you be that you skip it?
That's where the Warrior, in my opinion.
Really?
Warrior could have been, just because their job was to get over. He was over when he first walked, you know. Come on, how many little kids didn't want to be Ultimate Warrior? Right. Everybody, the music hit. That was like one of the greatest entrance themes of all time. You know, Savage, in my opinion, Savage, I think he brought importance to the title, not so much that the title brought importance to him. Right. You know, so I guess when you say that, but that would give him the edge. I'll give you that. That gives him real business perspective, gives him the edge over Jericho, because Jericho was breaking in the WWE, breaking in the WWE style. So you know, naturally.
So what do you think about the guys who had the IC title sort of late in their careers, later ones? Not like, you know, sometimes we think of the IC title being for the younger guys, the up-and-coming guys. What about the guys who've been somewhere but then sort of came back to the IC title run and made it important? The guys like Rey Mysterio. He won a title from JBL. I was not opposed to that because JBL was on his way out naturally. He came out of retirement because his back was feeling better, which is, you know, always a good thing. I hated JBL. He never got the same steam that he got, but he was, you know, he was a good character. He was really needed. Right. He had the IC title. I had no problem with that because I felt like as a veteran and as a former, one of the longest reigning WWE champions, I think that alone brings the title prestige. Yeah. Because you're saying, okay, I'm a main event guy and I'm in my prime, but yet I want the IC title. And you have a guy like Rey Mysterio who won the title for him. And I think that's primarily why he's on this list at top 25, his latest run. And his feud with Jericho. That's one of the times I figured, and I get so upset because I feel like superstars are so good and they make titles important seasonal. Yeah. Prime example, Jericho and Rey Mysterio. I feel like that season they had their beef, that made the title important. I feel like even Jericho's tag title run with the Big Show made the titles important. When DX were tag team champions, you know, it made the titles important. But then of course they lose the title, put on the young guy, and all of a sudden it goes back to, you know, almost second-rate championships. So what do you think about guys like that who have it late in their career? Like a Big Show now, you know, or Rey Mysterio, JBL.
I ain't like the Big Show. I understood why he got it, but I didn't like it too much because it was more so, that was, obviously everything's about the story, but to me the IC championship was an afterthought. You know, I thought it meant more going into the match. You know, it was like Cody was going to embarrass him and still hold the IC title at WrestleMania. Right. That didn't happen, you know. But at the same time, I guess you could say, because like Big Show said, well, he finally gets his WrestleMania moment, and it just happened so. But I thought it was more so him getting his WrestleMania moment, meaning he finally got a convincing win, more so than getting his WrestleMania moment by winning the title. Right. So, but, I mean, I'm never opposed to a veteran holding the title. I would even say, like, say like a Daniel Bryan. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing if he won the title, he beat CM Punk for the belt at Over the Limit, and then later on down the line becomes the Intercontinental Champion. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah, I think guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk have seen Chris Jericho type IC title runs, where afterwards, when hey they're not doing anything, but hey the IC title's up for grabs, why not? Right. You know, man. I think like right now, of course, it'd be too early. It would be like a downgrade because they're not established as WWE legends quite yet. But I actually like Big Show as IC champion because one, he didn't have it for too long. He was a bit of a transitional champion, but one, it gave him another title. Big Show's a Hall of Fame. He's done everything. Like people get upset with him, like Big Show's a waste, but he has nothing else left to do. Exactly. He's really out there having fun. He's putting guys over. He's having, you know, he's working on his acting, and he's when you see him wrestle, he's enjoying himself. He's like, man, I'm chilling. They paid me a big fat check. I'm in good shape. I lost 100-something pounds. You know, I can take as much time as I want because every time he takes time, he loses about 100 pounds. He comes back. You know, he gains it again, being on the road, of course. And okay, you have a guy like Big Show. I thought it added prestige, and then Cody Rhodes beat the Big Show, no matter whatever way he did it.
I loved it in there.
You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, it's because one, Big Show didn't look like a sucker. You know what I mean? You know, he lost. He put him over, but he didn't go out like, hey, you know, he just got buried. You know what I mean? It's obvious respect level. So I'm not opposed to the older guys and former world champions holding the IC title.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following presentation is brought to you by Mr. Main Event